We're now joined by HuskerOnline Sean Callahan. Sean, good morning. Sip believes he's got a troll right now after him on the show. How many trolls come after you guys at HuskerOnline on the message boards?
Oh God, that's a daily occurrence. You just got to deal with it.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, you got to push through, Sean, to Sip.
Sean, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Sean. Thanks for joining us. Nebraska running backs coach EJ Barthel gets a pay raise and extension, Sean, after some interest apparently from Texas and Penn State. Were you surprised to hear of the interest from those schools to get him the pay raise?
I don't know the whole lay of the land here, but everybody got a pay raise. I mean, when you're Division I, and Bill can speak on this, it's pretty common standard. Year after year, you generally get a bump. And
Correct.
We saw that with Donovan Rhule. We saw Rob Dvorak. Now, Glenn Thomas, I haven't seen a new deal on him and if his changed yet. But that's pretty standard business. But, yeah, his deal had run out, I think was the story. And he was working the last month not under a deal. And the new terms kicked in February 1. So was he just trying to make some professional development and moves and look at some other options? And then Nebraska came to him and offered him, hey, we'll redo your deal and let's do 2 more years. I mean, what was the reasoning? I guess I would like to know why he was not signed on. And, as of this week, talking to Texas and even earlier this month, spoke with James Franklin about their running backs job. And this was reported by the Houston Chronicle and by Blue and White Illustrated on the On3 network from Texas and both Penn State. So it was interesting just to kind of see those things out there. I don't know if he was ever how legit it was. I never got the sense he was a top candidate for either, but his name was mentioned for both jobs.
Sean, how would you assess the job? You can do this. You're an analyst. How would you assess the job that EJ Barthel has done at Nebraska?
Well, I think this year, look at the situation with Dante Dowdell. I mean, he came in the spring, and I can recall somebody in the spring saying, man, he's nowhere near ready playing. And then all of a sudden he came out and played well this year and did a good job this year. And Kentucky bought him off Nebraska's roster. So I thought he did a good job with Dowdell for what they wanted. I thought he's done a fine job with Emma Johnson as well to get him in that position. Do they have Amon Green or Lawrence Phillips or no? But they haven't had that guy in a long time at Nebraska. I mean, yes, Divino Zigbo was the last 1,000-yard back in 2018, but you really got to go back to Abdullah and Burkhead. And we're talking over 10 years ago, the last time Nebraska's had legit running backs. So it's been a challenge for a lot of coaches, but I think he's done a good job with what they have and what they're doing. And yeah, he'll get more time now.
Sean Callahan joins us. Sean, I always like to ask this because I think people do wonder what's going on right now. So what phase are the coaches and players in right now? The coaches are back off vacation, correct?
I believe, yeah, this is the week they're back in the office. I don't know if they're back working this week, but the mat drills, I think, start up this week. I think the mat drills are supposed to start up this week. I don't know that. We'll find out. I guess we'll find out more at St. Michael's Thursday, Sip. We're going to be right with a few of those guys Thursday at the Husker night. But, yeah, I think this is the week a lot of the guys are back up there.
Well, that was a promo.
That was
let's talk about this promo.
Yeah, what is going on?
You dropped something there when you think the people need to hear about.
St. Michael's.
Yeah, we've got our Husker night, and we've done this over 10 years. And, Bill, you've done it with me before in the past, and we've had a great time.
Night, yes. Do it. If you're a fan, probably sold out, but wow, what an event Sean puts on.
We still have a few. Yeah, you walk up and buy. We'll have over 400, and Vince Ginta will be there, your good buddy Bill. And then,
Vince. Oh, yes.
Jamar Mosey will be there, as well as John Butler. And then we've got 4 players at least scheduled to come right now: Dane Keene, Isaiah Hunter, Deshaun McCullough, and Williams Winery. So we got a good lineup. We'll interview the players up front and then show a breakdown of the recruiting class. And it's doors open at 6. It runs from 7 to 9. But yeah, it's a great night of content for Husker fans. We should have a lot of fun. And Sip's going to come this year.
Yeah, the key is doors open at 6. I'm not parking very far away.
That'll be a packed lot.
I got reserved parking for you, Sip.
That will be nice. Also, they'll enjoy meeting Coach Mosey. He's really a good dude.
Why'd you say that, Bill?
He's just a great guy. It's just from going to see him when he was the head coach down in Kansas City.
You
And
recruited there.
Yeah, and so you'll enjoy meeting him.
Sean, Sip wrote the other day about an approach from Ryan Day as a shift to a CEO-style head coach that helped Ohio State win it all. And, for Matt Rhule, is it the same way here? And how can that help Nebraska elevate?
I think it has to be. I mean, there's very few people that can be the play caller and be a good head coach. Osborne, obviously, one of the best. Saban, to an extent, was a CEO, but he obviously had a heavy voice of the defense. Pelini was the head coach with a heavy voice calling the defense or being involved in that. But yeah, I think when you get to this level now and all the things that are involved with it, it's hard to have your focus on running an offense or running a defense because you have so many other things to run with a program. Now Scott Frost will continue to call plays down at Central Florida. They announced that last week down there. So it's, you still see it that way. But I think it is becoming more the norm where the head coach hires two very capable coordinators. And I think that's the key. Matt Rhule believes he has that. We know Dana Holgerson's that guy, and John Butler's been a coordinator before in his career, and he has a lot of trust and faith in him running the defense. So then you have Phil Snow on the staff, who also has been a longtime coordinator right next to all these guys. So I do think he's built this staff with more experience in some of those key areas for those positions. And you're going to have Satterfield still here on the staff, another former coordinator. I just think it's a different looking staff across the board where you can be a CEO because you've got guys in place now with more experience.
Sean, this is not a question. This is a comment that I'd like you to respond to. I believe that it's maybe this CEO, this notion of Rhule being a CEO, doesn't call plays, is really important at this moment because of all the new faces that he has to play a role in tying all these guys together, getting them on the same page, getting the messages the same. It's a disparate group of guys. I think it might be more important than ever for Rhule. Am I wrong? This is a largely new staff now.
Yeah, and he's the leader of it. And I think we've talked about that a lot, Sip, how much turnover there's been. When you just break it down from soup to nuts of all the coaches that have changed out, all the supports, I mean, they've overhauled a lot up there in terms of moving out faces and things behind the scenes even. But, I think when Rhule got here, it happened so quickly when he was hired on Black Friday or the day after Black Friday. Mm-hmm. And then he had to get college football had changed a lot too. In that point, when he left the game to when he came back, it changed a lot. And I think he learned a lot of, how he's got to do it now. And he said that on the Josh Pate interview, whoever figures this out, whoever figures out how to do this with how the game is built right now is going to be successful. And that's his job. How do you figure out how to win in this new game? Because it's not like the NFL. It's not like the old college football. It's somewhere kind of a little bit of both. And you've got to figure out how to blend it all together and make this work.
Yeah, it's tricky because things are changing. He compared it to the NFL when he was at Carolina during COVID, and he was getting emails every day that would change the parameters of how they could practice and such. It's not like a daily occurrence now, but you're adjusting on the fly a lot now. So whoever can do that best and navigate the situation, it'll help. Now, as far as the recent news, Greg Sharp's passing, Sean, Greg Sharp, obviously a friend of yours, what was your takeaway on that matter? He died on Friday.
Yeah, just tough to know what he's been through the last year. I mean, it's kind of one of those. I remember I was in Costco when he announced on the radio show that he had cancer, and when he said in the pancreas area, I knew right away, God, this is not good, and I just had to step away at that point because I knew how quickly that could go for people. But to his credit, he fought for the last year, announced 10 games this year of the 13 games. Wasn't able to do the bowl game, wasn't able to do the Illinois game. I think the USC game he took off. But for him what he was going through, to be able to have the power to do those games, call a Big Ten championship game this year in baseball, and even be a part of some of the TV shows and things they did. Greg was a fighter, and he died doing what he loved, and he didn't really want a lot of attention for it. He just wanted to keep doing his job all the way to the end. His daughter Emily is getting married on Saturday, and I just think about that family and what they've been through, and how Saturday is going to be a tough day, but also a very happy day because they knew what was coming. They obviously were prepared for this day and this week, and Greg's in a better place now, and he did so much for so many people over the years, and he'll be missed. I told you this on the air this week, Sipple. After Lyle Bremser, I believe he called the most football games on the radio of anybody in Nebraska football history in terms of the main play-by-play guy. He called more games than Pavelka, Rose, Warren Swain. Greg Sharp was here for a long time and left a big impact on Nebraska.
15 years, and you're saying Bremser was 40 plus.
Correct. Yeah.
40
and
plus years.
Technically, Greg started in 07. He took over the final 4 games of 07. Then he obviously became the full-time guy in 08.
Okay. Yeah. It was a Kansas game in 2007 when he took over. I remember it vividly in Lawrence.
Yep. Leaves a great legacy. Sean, always great stuff. Appreciate the time. We'll chat with you again next week.
All right, guys. Thank you.